you believe something, somebody else believes something, and you just don't know how to handle it. I try to keep what I feel in my mind and to myself, but then at some point I gotta like start letting it out because I'm an adult now and I don't need to hold those back, especially if I want to make a change.
And that makes everything easier. Mm-hmm. Like when you're easy on the people above you, they can be easier on you, and they see you in a better light.
Right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. This is once, twice, 3 times a podcast. You didn't know I was going there, did you?
No.
Well, it is what it is. Welcome back, y'all. If you're new here, this is How Do You Love Me? I'm Trey.
And I'm Q.
And listen, we're about to do this thing today. We have a masterpiece for you. And so sit back, take a drink of your favorite water or juice.
I'm like, where are you going there?
I don't know. Let's get this thing started.
Let's keep it simple.
Woo! All right. Or as the new kids are saying, she. Welcome back, y'all. Listen, today, do you want to start it off?
Yeah, let's just jump right in with how full your cup is.
Okay,
Trey.
yeah, my cup today, I'm at about a 94, 94.3.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong, nothing.
Nothing to report.
Nah, like a regular old week. Happy that everything is going the way it is right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited about this weather. We had a few days of just a lot of rain and stuff. And I know, I like the rain. I also like it when I'm not out in it. So That's probably why I was okay with it. But I'm really happy about the way the weather looks now. It really looks like spring. And I'm looking forward to a lot of that because that means I can be outside at the golf range, getting some work in and getting better. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, with that being said, how full is your cup, Q?
My cup is probably on about 90 to 95%.
Uh-oh.
I know. So let me just tell you about some things that have been filling my cup lately.
Let us know.
Right. So some things that have been filling my cup lately are visiting with family. My dad and his wife came up to visit us and we got to hang with them and my brother. That was a really good time, even though it was kind of short.
Well, yeah. It's always good, though.
Yeah. And we got to see a couple other family members. So that was filling my cup, just being around people and just having a good time. I enjoy talking to people that I don't get to see all the time and just being in a positive space with them. Another thing that's been filling my cup is planning our family vacations for this summer. And although right now it's a little stressful because planning trips with Black people is hard, but I know that when the time comes, it's going to be a really good time. So that's been filling my cup. Another thing is I've really been working on my skincare because since I had to wear my mask all day at work, my skin has been breaking out, and I'm pretty sure y'all can see a little bit of the dark marks and texture on my face. But I found out about facial steaming, and so I've been doing that like 3 nights a week, just trying to get my face back clean and clear like it was before because I'm wearing those masks all the time. And then I've also been working on my hair care. Okay, now really proud of my little wash and go because I'm starting to perfect the way that it looks. And as I was checking back on some of our old videos when my hair still had like that brownish color. Y'all, back then I thought my hair was so long, but it was like a little fro. It was a little fro. It was like barely touching my ears. And when I was watching it, I was like, oh my gosh. But anyways,
too funny.
Those things have been filling my cup. Just focusing on those and focusing on good times and what's to come and making sure my skin is healthy, my hair is healthy. I'm trying to get healthy by meal prepping and starting to eat a lot better. So those things have been filling my cup. Not trying to focus too much on anything bad. So yeah, I'm 90 to 95% this week.
Isn't it amazing?
It
When
is.
you focus on
It is.
happy things,
It is.
you seem happier.
Yeah.
Even if it's not all the way there. It's crazy. Crazy. So, look, before we get to this main topic, or are we there? Do we?
Yeah,
we
we're on the main topic. No, we don't have any big news this week.
All right, so we hopping straight to it, y'all. Look, we're gonna transition here. I've always actually, this is you.
Yeah,
go ahead. Like, she got me in here looking crazy.
I didn't say anything.
I'm like,
I was wondering where he was going.
well, it was a long pause, and so I'm like, okay. Normally when she do that, normally when she does that, she wants me to go. And so I'm like, well, okay, I'll go. And then I'm looking down, like, okay, this is her stuff.
See,
right
okay,
now.
Because anytime that I'm like long-winded, I start like getting short of breath. And so sometimes I'll take a break and I'll look over at him like, all right, Trey, take it.
Well, she glanced over.
Because I'm always afraid I'm breathing hard in this mic. So anyways, I can go ahead and start. So I always tend to find myself in situations at work that I don't know how to handle. You know what I mean? Because like when you're growing up, they don't teach you how to technically handle conflict, and not necessarily like bad conflict like you probably would have at school where somebody says something crazy, but just like weird situations, you know what I mean, where you believe something, somebody else believes something, and you just don't know how to handle it. And most of the times, like, I try to keep what I feel in my mind and to myself, but then at some point I gotta like start letting it out, because I'm an adult now and I don't need to hold those back, especially if I want to make a change. You know what I mean? Like if somebody wants to do something this way and I'm like, well, that doesn't work for everybody. Let's try it this way. You know, I got to speak up, because otherwise it's nothing's going to happen. So basically, like, I brought this up because I always have this same kind of situation happen, because on a scale of like 1 to 10, I'm probably about like a 6 or 7 on the person who is like a rule follower. So I'm not like a 10 where I'm like a perfectionist and it all has to be done right, and we got to make sure we're looking at the manual to see what's happening. But I am like a 6 or 7, which means like, you know, majority of the time I would prefer to be doing what we're supposed to be doing, because those things are in place for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I found myself kind of getting into a place to where I was about to go off on somebody, or I've been in a place multiple times where I feel like I want to go off on somebody because they don't understand that these rules are in place to keep people safe, to make sure the job is done correctly. You know, because this is a business. Everywhere you work is a business. And if you're not providing quality work, then, you know, your business might not survive. Right. And I just think of those things whenever, you know, somebody starts doing something that, you know, isn't a part of what the company is expecting for us to do as employees.
No, that's real. That's real. Because like if somebody's doing something that's like, there's rules in place, like you said, for a reason. So if somebody's doing something that's out of that rule spectrum, sometimes that can hurt everybody. Right. Like the whole business can go out of business because you forgot to put the fish in the freezer, and now it went to a company. Everybody got sick. Yeah, they sued your company, and your company went under. Now everybody out of job. Everybody. And and I think about stuff like that when people decide to go outside the lines and do whatever they want to do, because I'm like, they're not telling us this to make sure that our job is harder or whatever. Now sometimes they are. Well, I mean, but that's individual. And you know what I mean? And sometimes, but or maybe they haven't found out. Like the bigger levels, nobody, they're not doing that to make it harder. Right. They're just doing it because this is either this is the way that we've always done it, or this is the way that works. But this is our process. You know what I mean? So like, I think about stuff like that. So I decided to look up different types of people in a workplace. And I know this podcast is, you know, typically about relationships, but you know, that's a part of it as well. Like when you think about it, like if you have good relationships at work or in the home or out with friends and family, like that's all a part of it. Like what we're talking about right now, you know, if you're out to eat with friends and family, there's rules at that restaurant. You know what I mean? Or just unspoken of rules as well. And if somebody's out of pocket, now you messed up the whole. Because if y'all don't know, one of mine is if I'm out with, like, if we're out with somebody, I don't want to be with somebody who always, flip flopping on what they want, sending the food back after they ate half of it. And I mean, if it's valid, okay, but don't eat half of it and then send it back.
Yeah.
And then try and get that one free as well as the. I don't like to be a part, because when I go back to the restaurant, they remember me and that whole situation.
That's right.
Even though I wasn't a person. So again, those are like so that's a part of it. You got rules, man, and it's that works.
Plus, I just try not to make anybody's job harder.
And that's the key.
As a manager, as the supervisor, or the head person at your job, all they're trying to do is make sure that this business thrives and that we're providing quality work, product, services. And so if you have an employee who's just doing whatever they want to and they're not providing any of those things, it makes your job harder, because first thing that happens when a customer comes in and they're fussing and cussing at you, they call for the manager.
Sure do.
And while I had nothing to do with it as the manager, now I got to fix it. And so I just try not to put the people above me, the people who I'm, reporting to, I try not to put them in a bad situation.
Yeah, and that makes everything easier. Like when you're easy on the people above you, they can be easier on you, and they see you in a better light.
Right.
Like, I know I can say this or relay this message, and they not gonna really tear the club up, so to speak. They're not gonna just go all out line. They'll at least come to me in private and talk it out if it's something out of the ordinary. They're not gonna disrespect me in front of everybody. Now everybody looking at me like
I thought you was the boss. I know, I thought you was the boss.
Yeah.
How you let them go off on you like that? How you let them play you?
It's ways to do all that.
Yeah.
So yes, you right.
Okay,
you right.
So the first type, which is probably more of me, this is probably who I am. Number one, the rule follower. Okay. These are the people who like structure. Okay. So let me read who they are and what you can expect from these people. So rule followers work well under a defined set of workplace standards and objectives, and they crave structure, routine, and stability. These employees will be at their best when they're in positions that have clear, consistent processes and outcomes. And what you can expect from them is to thrive in environments where their responsibilities and challenges are known and predictable, right? So if I do A, then I know B is coming next.
Yes.
And my product or my finished service or whatever is going to come is going to be C.
Yeah.
So we thrive in those kind of situations. They like established documented procedures that follow logical patterns. And if you put rule followers into situations that require lots of flexibility and just winging it, you will throw them off their game. And that's so true, because I was telling somebody, because people always ask me, how's your first year teaching going? And, tell me more about it. How you liking it? And I try to tell people the truth.
Yeah.
Because, I'm trying to be authentic and let you know it's hard. It's hard. And it's hard because I don't like to not know what to do.
Right.
And because every day is something new that I've never done before, even though this may be my 110th day at the job, it's a new day today. And so I've never experienced it. It's hard for me to wing it. You know what I mean? Because I'm supposed to set the standard for these kids. And if I don't have a plan for what we're about to do, because I've never experienced it before, it's hard for me. Because I like to be the one to tell somebody hey, this is your first day on the job. Let me tell you what to expect. Let me tell you what to do. This is what it's going to look like.
Yeah, how to move.
Yeah.
How to move and shake.
And I don't like being in situations where I kind of got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's where error comes in. That's where my stress comes from. You know what I mean? Because that's where you're going to see me acting out. I might cry. I might, yell. I don't like stuff like that. So
me either.
Yeah, I know. So if you put me in a situation where I got to wing it, or I got to be flexible, and not to say that I can't be flexible, but you know what I mean? I just got to be creative in the situation and kind of run with it. that's where like my stress level goes up. So that's what you can see from a rule follower.
And I'm I don't know. I feel like I might be a mix of.
I feel like you're a rule follower and one of these other ones.
Yeah, because it's I'm the same way, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I can thrive better when it's that structure and when I know what's coming next. Of course, like, okay, I can figure out my groove for something and then innovate on that and make it faster and faster or more, get it better and better. Like I love, like say, even this podcast, like I love when I got a certain editing technique down versus when I first started. It's like, if editing was the job, the way to do it, because it's not changing. Like, okay, I know I'm gonna take these videos and then I have to do something with them to make sure that they can get out. As I've done it more, the videos are still the same, but now I'm able to build on the process and it just faster and faster.
Right, because you've done it before.
Yes.
And you know what to expect.
I know what to expect. And so I think it can work. I mean, that works everywhere.
Like in all situations, if you know what to expect, even in your relationship, if I know what to expect, hey, on Wednesdays, she wash clothes. So that means we ain't gonna have clothes till Wednesdays. At least I know what to expect.
Now I ain't gotta yell at her on Thursday or something.
Or Tuesday. Tuesday.
No, I'm gonna say Thursday. Now I ain't gotta yell at her on Thursday because I can't find my shirt because I know she wash on Wednesdays. Let me go check the dryer before I go off on her. Oh, it's in the dryer. I can let her sleep. I can iron my shirt and be gone. Right. Instead of, girl, where my shirt at? Why you ain't? It's in the.
That's where that stress comes.
Yeah.
All right. So you said a word and now you said innovative.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Number 2.
Oh,
snap. So number 1 was rule follower. Number 2, innovators.
Was I foreshadowing?
These are the people that color outside of the lines. So let me tell you who they are and what you can expect from them. Innovators are people who use the rule book as more of a guidance rather than an instruction manual. So these are your creative people, the ones who are constantly coming up with new ideas and looking for ways to streamline and improve the processes. Innovative employees have a higher risk tolerance than rule followers and are much more comfortable going with the flow. So, and what you can expect from these people they are fans of progress and mixing things up. And they value creativity and variety over tradition and routine. Right. And I feel like a lot of younger people tend to be innovators because I'm pretty sure in some instances I am an innovator because like when you come into something new, I just say for example, like the job that I'm in right now, my team is always like when we're planning for our lessons or whatever, they're always like, well, what did we do before? Like we, and I might ask a question. I'm like, well, can we try? And they're like, no, we've always done it this way. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah. And sometimes that makes me upset, but you gotta know where you're at. Yeah. You gotta know where you are.
Cause to be honest, that's a good basis. Like, okay, what was done before? That's a good place to start. Like, okay, this is how it was done before. If you're in a open space where they, are okay with innovation or whatever, then boom, we can shoot our shots and get it popping. But if not, all right, we're gonna go with the flow until they ask me in a what is it called, the 101 or yearly review. Hey, is there anything we can improve? Right. Well, yeah, I actually got a whole list. Yes. For such and such, and again, at that particular place, that's what's acceptable. Like that shows a brighter light instead of bringing it out in front of the whole team and then they like, that's not what we do here. Right. We, you know what I mean? So, because I personally, I find myself in that spot too. Like,
yes, you are.
Depending on what it is though. Because I always have ideas, but I might not always say anything. I might not say anything unless somebody asks me.
Well, I feel like you are an innovator because like more than a rule follower, because I feel like you are constantly wanting to make progress. Yeah. And so
that's true.
Even though, yes, I'm going to follow the rules, you're not doing it to be defiant. You're doing it because, well, there might be a faster way.
Yeah.
Or maybe this isn't the most efficient.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know what I mean? So I can see you being a innovator, and I'm definitely a rule follower. The problem comes in is when you start, mixing the two. Like when a rule follower is like, nah.
Yeah.
We got to follow these rules,
right.
And you ain't following the rules. So here the manual, because I did download the manual, and you better read up on it because you're going to get us in trouble.
That's for real. And that's where you got to, and that's why being, what do you call it? When you're like, the word is leaving me, but basically when you're true to like being real and honest, authentic, or basically what I'm saying is the person who's innovating, they're not going to try and innovate in a way that the rule abider is going to be like,
maybe
I guess you're right. I'm talking about somebody who's truthful and honest and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you're going to you're going to work. Like the best thing to try and do is to be able to work within the lines that's just like perfect example, taxes, right? Like you can't get mad at somebody because they know the rules enough to get or to
tax
pay
breaks.
to pay $300 in taxes when all you got back was $200. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they know the rules and they're working within those rules. So the person who's the rule abider is going, okay, I can get with that because they did it within the rules.
Right.
So you're right though. If you got some foul and scandalous people in that group, they're gonna be I ain't a part.
Oh yeah.
you gonna get everybody in trouble.
Be like, let me take these earrings. Yeah. Because you about to get it. Because you gonna get us all in trouble.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead and pay some bills.
Yeah. So basically, y'all, when you're trying to learn how to become a great rule abider or an innovator, somebody's already wrote the playbook to be able to get that done. And one way to get that done and learn is to go to Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, ranging from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, news, and business, all right, including self-development. Every month, as an Audible member, they're going to give you 1 credit. And 1 credit allows you to pick 1 book. But on top of that, they're going to give you 2 bonus books in an Audible Originals form. Okay. And that gives you also access to daily news digest from everything from the New York Times to the Wall Street Journal. All right. So basically what Audible does is it helps people get more stories and information through the gift of found time. And what that means is I don't have to try and make 3 hours to finish a book in the dark because I need to wait till all my kids go to sleep. No, while I'm rocking my baby to sleep, I can also listen to this Audible book and get my reading done, because at the end of the day, you still need to learn. And so basically, because Audible loves me and Q so much, they gave you a free book. And if you don't like it, if you're like, hey, I love the book, but the platform was a little bulky, they're going to let you keep the book, no charge. Okay. You keep that forever. All you have to do is go to HDYLMbook.com and they can get that done for you today. All right. So also, next up, you got to get some merch. Okay. Go to HDYLM merch and pick yourself up. All you have to do is, go over there. If you see a hat you like the one I have on right now, pick it up. If you see a shirt, a hoodie, whatever, support your people, your folks.
Right.
Join the H Squad and get you some merch today. That's at HDYLMmerch.com. And with that being said, let's get back to the show.
All right. So we have talked about rule followers and the innovators. Now let's talk about the third type of person, which is the overachievers. And everybody knows this one, and most people don't like this person because they want perfection. And most people would probably say they think they the manager.
Yeah.
Trying to tell you what to do. But much like innovators, overachievers are not fans of the status quo. So, but they're not really like the innovators because they aren't necessarily motivated by creativity and new ideas. They could also be motivated by personal accountability. So it's something within them that makes them want to succeed. They have competition, maybe with themselves or with other people, and they have this really big thing about meeting their goals. So no matter what motivation is driving them, overachievers will often invest large amounts of time and energy into anything they do, from the smallest task to the largest project. And what you can expect from these type of people, they can be a huge asset to your company.
Definitely need
when their dedication and ambition is channeled in a positive way, their behavior can set up the standard for other employees.
This is true.
Right. So these are kind of the people who can get on your nerves because like the managers and the supervisors and people, they always calling them out like, shout out to Jennifer for reaching, past our goal. She had 500 sales this week and, she was on time and never late. And people just like, ugh, again, Jennifer, perfect attendance. You have the highest amount of sales. Because I remember a couple of years ago, Trey was telling me that they have a quota. Y'all have a quota you have to meet.
Yeah.
And there was a person on your team who was going like who was meeting all those and going higher.
Yeah,
and then
I'm going to talk about it.
Well, tell us about it. Tell us.
Keep going. You had a point.
Well, basically, she was doing so much more than what everybody else was doing that they were bringing up the goal. They were moving the goal marker up and making her. Yeah, they were moving it up for her, but they were also kind of looking at y'all like, if she can do it, why can't y'all?
This is true. Yeah. I mean, and just to speak on that, you have to look at people on a person by person basis. Like, I'm not her and she's not me and he's not, her. Everybody's different. Everybody does things different. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that I can, if I practice hard enough, I can sound like Bruno Mars. I just can't. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that. There is a point that I can get, like, can I work with somebody to be able to make my voice sound better? I'm sure they have techniques to make you be able to sound better, but I'm not gonna be able to sound as good as him. And that's the point where I think there's a marker where, as a manager or something like that, you have to be able to look at, okay, this individual, they are an overachiever. So I can't expect my innovator to put up overachiever numbers. Right. I need to leave my overachiever in that space and cultivate them and build them the way they need to be built. Right. And build my innovator to their type level. And that's what we don't really see a lot. We see, okay, where's my overachiever? Okay, them. All right, everybody do what they did. Yeah. And I told that story just to get to those people. So I've known, and luckily I love these people. Right. Like, and what I mean is they are always great friends of mine. I'm not necessarily the overachiever, but that's for other reasons. You know what I mean?
Which is?
I don't like to overextend myself to the point where I'm lacking everywhere else. Yeah. So I see way past the right now. So like certain level on certain tasks, like, can I do it like redlining, like, you know what I mean? Can I do that? Yeah. But I'm thinking, how long? Right. Because you'll burn out faster than. And that's what I was going to get to. So the guy that I knew he was a beast. I still know him. One great friend. We're both LeBron lovers. Shout out to my boy B. But listen, he literally, like, if the goal was 25, he was 3X, like, he was doing 100 a day. And when you actually get, and both of the boy and the girl that you were talking about, I got to know them. neither one of them saw like now there are people who set out to, oh yeah, I'm putting it in your face.
Yeah, they making a competition.
Right. But just like you read there, a lot of times they're just doing them. Like that's, it's something in them that they're doing that.
Right.
So like when I sat and talked with him, his thing was, I'm just like, I don't have to conversate to anybody. I'm just here to do my job, and literally that. So it was like blinders on. So once a task was done, immediately back on. Whereas me, I might do my task and then go check on somebody. Like, hey, how you doing today? How you? I'm building up morale.
Yeah.
He don't care about nobody's morale. It's like, I'm doing his work. And that's not to say he was a bad person, funniest dude ever. But anyway, both of those people were like that. It's, hey, I'm just going to do it and go as far as I can. The one thing I will say about that is the shelf life is not as long.
Yeah.
So with both of those people, whereas me, I'm good every day. I can do this for as long as I need to while I'm here. They were ready to go. Like, all right, I'm burned out.
Right, because after you meet your goal, you're like, now what else can I do?
Right.
But
then that's when you move on. That's when people move on.
Because I remember when I got my first job and I was working for an elderly couple and I was helping them around the house or whatever. And the first week that I worked for them, I was trying to do the best that I could. Yeah. And I remember he had given me a long, it's probably about 5 things on my to-do list. And I was only there for like two hours, like 2 hours during the week or on a weeknight, because I would get out of school and then I would go to their house and help them do stuff or whatever. So he gave me like 5 things on my list and I rushed through all of them. Now I did get them done correctly, but he rode out there on his little scooter. Yeah, Mr. Roach. He rode out on his little scooter. What did he say? He said, I can't remember how he put it, but basically he was asking me why I went through those things that he gave me so fast. And he was like, slow down, basically. Like, why are you rushing? You have all the time in the world to get this done. Just slow down a little bit. Take some time. Because he probably knew, he knew I would burn out. And, if you burn out, I mean,
you're going to leave. Now I got to try and find it was already hard to find one person. Now I got to try and find another one because you done burned through your stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's wisdom right there, y'all. That's crazy.
But the good thing about overachievers, having them at your workplace.
Yeah, you need them.
Yeah, you need them because they help drive. They're part of like the innovators, where the innovators are doing it out of creativity. The overachievers are doing it for themselves, but those people push the company forward.
And that's why it's like you definitely need them. Like in both of those people that I talked about earlier, they were on 2 different teams. They both served a purpose on both of those teams because you knew that you could count on them to get boom. So whereas everybody's goal is such and such, they're going to get this. So when it comes time to push, like, hey, y'all, we got a few more that we need to get done. All right. You can put on your back. Like, all right, they going to help us get it done for real, for real. And with that being said, you need those people too, because just like you have the innovator, they make the new thing.
Right.
That overachiever can make it come to life.
That's right. And then the rule follower just goes along with it.
Yes. Like,
and
hey,
I just do what they say.
Does this meet up with, and it's funny. I've seen where both of those, like the innovator and the overachiever, they might innovate something. And then you have the overachiever that immediately starts where the rule abider comes in, right? I had a pharmacist on my team. She something that they changed. She came in with a question because she knew the rules from the state.
Right.
She came in and was like, hey, how does this work with such and such? Oh, you know what? We didn't think about that. But okay, no, we can't do this. And scratch that one. You need it all. That's all I'm trying to say. You need them all. And when you have a great team, they all can work together. I know we have another one left.
Yeah,
so
we got one more.
Going. Yeah.
One more. So these are really good because All of these people are needed on this team. And the last one is the expectation manager. These are the people who say, hey, now, let's not get too excited here. These are the people that when the innovators and the overachievers start talking about doing way out of the box stuff, and they're like, hey, it sounds good, but let's remember.
Yeah. We only work here. 8 hours a day.
Okay. We get paid this.
Yeah.
We only have access to these materials. All right. So let me tell you who they are and what to expect from them. Expectation managers are those team members who keep everyone's big ideas in check. Generally speaking, expectation managers have been around a while and have a lot of knowledge. They would probably refer to themselves as realists or experts.
Oh, dang.
Expectation managers feel they have a lot to offer and they want their voices to be heard. So what you can expect from them is helpful process managers have a gift for big picture thinking. Man, this sounds even more like you. They have a gift for big picture thinking and a genuine love of strategy, planning, and this is so you. Even more than an innovator. Yeah, all right, and then they know what needs to get done and what it takes to do it. So expectation manager just make sure. I feel like they probably work really well with the rule follower.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because they can help. The rule follower and the expectation manager probably sit side by side and make sure, hey, we got to keep an eye on them too so that they don't get us in trouble trying to do all this new cool stuff.
This is fact.
And we make sure we perfect it.
Yeah.
So all of these 4 people work together to make a really good team. But the problem is, the problem that I've seen myself run into is I get on a team and I'm a rule follower, but I have too many innovators or I have too many overachievers.
Yeah. That's also not good.
Because, if we're not all on one accord and we're not all doing the same thing and our production isn't showing the same, then something's lacking and we all are it could really show the weakness in our team.
Yeah.
Or, on our group or whatever you are considered or in the company. So it's really important to make sure that you have a balance, but it's kind of hard to find that balance.
It is. I think that's where it just is what it is. But as a manager or the leader or whatever, you have to make up for what you lack in those positions until they come. So I'm like you said, you ain't gonna win if your whole team is full of you can, but it's gonna be luck. If you have a whole team full of rule abiders, unless you keep innovating, you can get stuck in time. Right. Because it's always gonna be, well, this is how we always did it.
Right. And there's no growth.
Yes. And so it's just either you're gonna be flatline or it's gonna be over time going down as time goes on. But so you need those other teammates. I think the main key is you gotta know what those 4 are and then be able to see it in others to make those groups together, to bring those people together. And then if you don't have that yet, you have to make that up as the leader, or as the manager or team changes. Lead. Yeah.
Because you might have too many overachievers over here and too many rule followers and expectation managers over here.
Yeah. So if you can't
next year you be like, next quarter or whatever, you got to switch it around.
Yeah. And I think we see that and we don't, might not realize it at the time, but we've seen that where they're like, hey, we're going to move such and such to here, or, in classrooms, say all right, I'm going to put them at y'all's table.
Right.
It wasn't because you might just, man, they took my friend away. Nah, look, you need somebody that's at this table that knows what they doing, that can keep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need a leader that can be able to see those things in others and then make them come together and get the job done. But that's why you got to really know those up front. So you need to know what those are so that you can be able to see them in others. Because then if you can see them in others, okay, I know how to work with. So that's one thing that I think maybe that's why I don't mind. What was it? The overachiever. Most people hate that person, but they hate that person or they don't like that person because now I got to try and do what you doing.
Right.
I never saw it as that because I know I'm not you. And I had no problem telling a leader or a manager, I'm not them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I actually done it before. And so I don't hate that person. You work with that person by, okay, let me see what they do. And if I can use some of the stuff to make my numbers or to do a little better, then that works. But I can't be them. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to know those things, those four, and figure out how to work with them to be able to become a better teammate or a better partner type deal.
Yeah, I think that it also works in all kind of situations, kind of like we talked about before we started.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like even in relationships, Trey, like in ours, what would I be? I don't even know.
Oh, this is a tough one.
For per person because it's at home, but Trey is more innovative, not necessarily like in our marriage, but like his personality. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of works in both ways where sometimes I think outside of the box only because I've had different experiences and Trey would be more of the rule follower. But then like when it transitions into like goals, like life goals, Trey would be more innovative because he sees different things. He listens to podcasts and different, And
it's what you just said.
Yeah.
Because of experiences. Like exposure leads to expansion. Mm-hmm. So in certain areas, I'll be extremely innovative, or I can overachieve, or, whatever I need to be in that area, I can do it because I have a lot of experience in it.
Right.
Where others, I'm going to be literally just a rule abider because I know I don't know as much as the next person or the person,
Right.
So I'm not going to be out of pocket. I'm staying right here. Okay. What I need to do next? Okay. And I'm going to do that until.
Okay. So you just made me think of the next thing. So we don't have a question from the inner circle, but we are like shopping for a new mattress. And last week, or was that this week?
No, that was last week.
Last week we decided I was like, I want to go start looking for a mattress because I'm starting to have a little bit of back pain.
Oh, that's right.
Our current mattress is getting old, and so it's just time for stuff like that. And so initially Trey wanted to look. Well, you looked on Amazon and saw some of the ones that can be shipped to your house, and it's like folded, and then you give it like 24 or 48 hours and then it expands. Well, I saw the reviews on it, and because I'm not really strong in like mattresses, I was just like, I want to go, see some mattresses and get an idea or whatever. But the only thing that I told Trey was like, let's go mattress shopping.
Yeah.
So Trey put on his shoes. I got my clothes on, and we rode down to a mattress place. And we got in there. The lady asked us our price. We told her. We were looking around, but the whole time I was having an issue because I could tell Trey was. And now afterwards we had this conversation, but I'm bringing it up here. He had this look on his face that said, I don't want to be here. And I don't know why we talking to her because, I already have kind of in my mind what I want. This is what I'm seeing on his face because he's standing there kind of stone-faced and he's just like, and when the lady would ask me a question, he was like, I mean, really, you need to be, he wasn't saying it in like a mean way, but he was like, it doesn't matter to me. It's on her. And, she asked us, we tried out a mattress and I was like, oh, I like this. And then, I wanted to kind of stay and see what else they had or whatever, but I could, my impression or my perspective on what I thought Trey was feeling was that he was ready to go because he had already made up in his mind what he wanted and what he didn't want to pay. And so we left out of there and we went home and I was pretty upset with him. And I was just over looking for mattresses. And he was like, I thought we were going somewhere else. And I had kind of given up. So I brought this all up because, I didn't give Trey enough information before we went for him to understand what I needed him for because I took him to the mattress place so I could get his opinion, but he wasn't doing that. He wasn't giving me an opinion. He was like, well, it's all on you. And I really don't like it when he does that. But we had to have a little bit of a conversation to, for us to both understand, like, what I needed, basically I needed to express to him my expectations.
Yeah.
And let him know, like, hey, I'm not necessarily coming in here to buy a mattress today, but I'm trying to get a little more information so that if I want to shop online and get one from Amazon, I know what I'm looking for. So, Trey was a little upset with me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't share that with him. But I was upset with him because if I was telling him, I took you to the mattress store because I wanted your opinion.
Mm-hmm. But then what did I say?
You said, it ain't for me. So it really doesn't matter what I want.
Right.
Right. So the part where I got upset was because if I wanted to buy a mattress by myself, I didn't need you.
Yeah. I just thought because I didn't get a lot of information, I literally just thought you wanted me to be there.
No. Well,
and then I told you, as time went on, you heard my whole explanation and what really was going on in my head instead of what you thought. And then you realized.
Well, kind of. But I also I was just bringing this up because, like, I don't know if I'm the only one who has this problem, but I know, like, but
women?
I mean,
what?
No. I guess maybe like this happens a lot, like with food and stuff, because you really don't care. But I try to give you an option to be a part of the conversation, but you're just like, well, it means more to you, so you choose.
Yeah, so like on certain things, personally, I like when you've been in a relationship so long, then you kind of understand different, or you've seen different things, and so you just move a certain way. So like for instance, the food that she just brought up, I personally, because of a lot of previous experiences, for the most part, I don't really care. And that's because when we were early on in our relationship, she would say, hey, what do you want? And I would say, I want blank. I don't really want that. Okay, what do you want? And then we would go with that. Well, if that happens too many times, I don't really care about food that much. Okay, let's just go with what she wants. I know they have something on the menu that I like. And so I'll just eat that. If it comes down to it and I have a feeling or like I really want something, I'm pretty sure we can get it that day. But for the most part, like food, I don't really care enough to make that a thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I get it for food, but I feel like a mattress is a bigger purchase, and I can't go out and just buy it by myself.
And so that's where I was transitioning to the mattress. So like with the mattress thing, again, if we're just being real truthful here, I've only had 2 mattresses in my entire life. Okay, I slept on one mattress from age 7 or 6 until I was 21 when we got married, literally, and then from 21 to now, what we have now. I haven't had enough experience with mattresses to know a huge difference to really care. Like I sleep well every night, which y'all know if y'all are listeners here. I sleep good every night. Like I get a full sleep regardless of the amount of time. So when it came to the mattress, I knew it's her. Like it's what she really wants. I'm going to be good regardless. So if she's the one with the problem on the mattress, let's make sure we get what she wants so that it's not another problem. Because if we get what I want and then it's not really what she wanted and she was the one who wanted a new one in the first place, okay, now it just created a whole nother problem or needing a whole nother mattress. So I didn't know why I didn't know I needed to do anything other than just be there in support of her in search for her mattress. Now, again, she said what she thought I was thinking. When we got home, I told her exactly what I was thinking. I just needed to make sure that wasn't the only place that she got her information from or that she looked at for a mattress. I'm not a fan of just going somewhere and just on a whim making a decision or like making a purchase unless that's the only option for that, thing. Like if there's another option, I think we should at least look at it.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing.
But I think the real big issue is I feel like I couldn't tell him in the store I need your input because the lady was standing right there.
But she could have. And if that was the case, then I would have told her. I'm like, but
well, see, but I thought he had his guard up because he had already had in his mind what he wanted.
No, and that was
like
the
he
other.
Had the Amazon. I was thinking he had the Amazon mattress in his head.
Yeah,
and he was
I
like,
had
"This
told,
what I want." I don't know why she in here trying to buy this expensive mattress.
Nah, and I had told her months or however long that was before when I sent her those mattresses, it was an option. Like, hey, I saw these. I didn't even go through the reviews. Like, I saw the star amount, but I just vaguely went through. Like, okay, let me send it to her. And then she went through and actually thoroughly looked at them and was like, I don't know about that. Okay. Like you said that right away or the next week, whenever you got a chance to actually look at them, I didn't think about them mattresses again because it was me trying to help. Like, oh, I guess I didn't think about it. Amazon got mattresses. Let me see. Boom. Okay. Sent it to her. She said, no. Didn't think about them again. And so when she got home and was saying that, I'm like, those mattresses weren't even on my mind when we were there.
Yeah,
because we were there. That was the only thing. And so, when she was done, I'm like, well, I thought we were going to come home and look some more. And so when we got that understanding out of the way, then we looked and boom, you see other options. Now, based on because that's when I really can work. Like I don't know a lot about mattresses, so I'm no help.
Yeah.
Until we went there, and now I'm an expert in what she wanted. So then, as soon as we got home, 5 minutes, I found the same exact mattress at the same exact store for half the price that the lady didn't even offer us.
Right.
Now, why that is, I don't know, but the thing is, I went off the criteria that she wanted. Because again, I don't know. But I know what she told us in the store. That's what she wanted. Okay, going off of this criteria, let's search now. And boom, send it to her. I think she liked it. And then we're on from there. But understanding.
I should have I didn't know I needed to tell him I needed his input on that one.
Yeah, because
typically I know that you do that with like food and little stuff or whatever.
I do it with
like,
anything.
If that's what you want. But I thought like because this was a bigger purchase, you would have more input. But
yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean,
it's hard. It's hard because I remember we had this conversation years ago where I was like, you never give input, and you're like, well. You haven't taken my, if what I suggest doesn't come through.
This is true.
Then I just stop. And so it's hard because it's like, I want you to. But then if you ask me what my opinion is about what you said, it's probably a no.
Yeah. But I mean, it's probably a no. I didn't hear it, too much information. I don't care. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
sounds so bad.
It does. But at the same time, I've known her long enough not to take that to heart, those kind of answers or that kind of stuff to heart. But at the same time, okay, I do what I need to do to like make that okay. If a lot of stuff doesn't bother me, so it's not worth it for me to put up I'm not about to be sitting here. Well, I want chicken wings. You've had what you wanted 16 times in a row. I want chicken wings. I'm not about to do that. I don't want them that bad.
You could, and I'd be like, all right, we have chicken wings today.
That time, right? But if I did that too many times, it'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
You need to take a chill pill.
Yeah. It's not that important to me. If I wanted the chicken wings that bad, look, on a Saturday when I'm just going to go watch my homie's son play baseball, I would get the chicken wings and eat them while I'm there. She don't want to eat anyway. So I might as well get them when I just want them, right? So I don't know.
Anyways, that was a learning experience. Because from now on, if I'm trying to make a big purchase, I just need to make sure I let him know up front.
Yeah, because then if it's something I don't know, like that I'm not versed in, I can go sit down, learn about it, and then I can go in somewhere and
Ask questions.
Yeah, know when we're getting yanked around or whatever. Ask the right questions, because people ask questions all the time, but it's the right questions. Even in relationships, you can ask questions, but if they're not the right ones, well, I mean, I don't know. It's for nothing.
Yeah. Well, okay. That was the end of our little episode, but I just wanted to share that because I know, it's kind of hard because even though we've been together 7 years, there's still stuff to be.
It will always
there's always something to learn from every situation. And while that was a pretty good one, because like in the past, I would have been crying because I'd have been like, you don't ever put in any input. But this time I was like, I'm just done.
Yeah, and then I didn't even know. So I came out the room like, oh, look what I done found. She was done. Headphones on, done. And I'm like, wait, what?
I was like, you stressing me out.
Had no clue. Then she told me, we got that handled. Boom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's how you do that right there.
That's how you love me. That's how you love me right there.
Yeah. And so we good? All right. So y'all, listen, thank y'all so much for listening in on us again to the How Do You Love Me show. If you're new here and you made it to right now, you're a real one, and we appreciate that. And we hope that you come back, listen to us again, subscribe, and like this one if you liked it. We would love to hear from you about what topics you want us to discuss, or just if you want our advice, go ahead and shoot us an email at HDYLoveMe@gmail.com, or you can just DM us at on IG at HDYLM_podcast. That's it. Or if that's literally too much work, like just give us a call and send us a voicemail at 682-231-0848. And if you want to see what's going on as well, just go to HDYLM.com. Remember, it's always grand gratitude over here. That's high thinking, strong faith, simple living, smart work. With that being said, peace.
Bye.